But let's go ahead and get into this Tesla stuff. This comes from CNN. Officials reveal new details about suspect in Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion.
Officials in Vegas talking now about the Cybertruck attack there at the Trump Hotel. Let's listen in.
As many of you went to sleep last night, and I just want to give you an update on a lot of what it is that we found through the processing of the Cybertruck. This is a joint investigation involving the FBI, the ATF, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and these folks worked through the night and found a lot of stuff that is very useful.
ATF is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, guys. You know, that would make sense because obviously there was an explosion, so they're going to go ahead and see how this thing actually occurred. FBI is going to be the lead because it's terrorism. Obviously, Las Vegas Police Department is going to be involved because it happened in their local jurisdiction. So more than likely, they're going to obviously it's going to be JTTF that runs this thing because they're looking at this as a terrorist attack.
For this
Joint Terrorism Task Force
investigation. As you look at this Cybertruck here, we had to transport this down to our fleet services so that we could really get through this thing. And I remind you that the subject inside wasn't able to be removed for a very long period of time because he was burnt beyond recognition. And so as we continue to move through this, I'm going to talk a little bit about his identity and what we believe, but I would like to highlight a couple of things that the teams found inside of the Cybertruck that are useful to the investigation. And that first and foremost is a military identification. We also found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And if you'll notice on a lot of these guns that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. There's a SLR model B30 semi-automatic firearm.
Now, what they did was they definitely did what's called the E-trace on this gun to figure out where it came from and who was the original purchaser, for sure.
A number of fireworks that were still in the vehicle that had to be removed. Notably, we found an iPhone and a smartwatch, and then several credit cards were also in the name of our subject. Our subject is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He's of Colorado Springs, Colorado, born July 22nd of 1987. Now, as you'll see,
and they're saying that this guy used to be in the military.
Here on a picture of his driver's license. Let's see. The question really still remains for me, and I know that there's a lot of you folks in the media that are identifying this person as the person in our vehicle. As I mentioned to you already, his body is burnt beyond recognition, and I do still not have confirmation 100% that that is the individual that was inside of our vehicle. And so as I'm calling it now, the subject or person of interest, I will not come back until I have the confirmation through DNA or medical records that this is indeed, in fact, the subject inside of the vehicle. Now, further complicating this identification of this individual, we also discovered through the coroner's office that the individual had sustained a gunshot wound to the head prior to the detonation of the vehicle. One of the handguns was found at his feet inside of the vehicle. Obviously, in how we're trying to identify him, and I'm feeling comfortable to give you this information, is a tremendous amount of substantial evidence to include he rented the Turo vehicle. There are 2 tattoos, one of which was on the stomach and one of which is on the arm, that we can see bits and pieces of it as in comparison to what it is that we now know he had on his body. That has given us a lot of confidence that this is, in fact, the same person, as well as the clearly obvious, which is the credit cards, the military identification, the passport. And then furthermore, as you'll see here in just a very short period of time, we tracked his movements from Colorado to Las Vegas, and in a number of the photographs that we were able to determine, he was the individual that was driving the vehicle. And also, I'd like to iterate this point to you. We still have only ever seen him in this vehicle, and we're not aware of any other subjects involved in this particular case. Now, I would like to acknowledge a couple of things because I know what's going on in the social media world, and there are a number of things in this case that are similar to the attack in New Orleans. We do know that our subject here served in the military. In fact, he's a current member of the military. Both of the subjects served at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. What we do know about that is it's a very large military base, and we have no record that they served in the same unit or even at the same years at Fort Bragg, something that continues to remain under investigation. I also know that they both served in Afghanistan in 2009. We don't have any evidence
That's some crazy coincidences, I'll tell you that. Crazy coincidences.
that they were in the same province in Afghanistan, the same location, or the same unit. Again, something else that remains under investigation. And we also know, of course, that they both used the rental company Turo to rent their vehicles. As far as his military background, it's been confirmed by DOD that he was indeed in the United States Army. He was also a Green Beret operations sergeant who spent most of his time at Fort Carson, Colorado, and in Germany. He was on approved leave from Germany, where he was serving with the 10th Special Forces Group. He was also previously in the National Guard and the Army Reserve. I'd like to point out to you that through exceptional joint investigative effort, we've gotten to a place where we believe we can show you his route to Las Vegas from Colorado, and Carlos will put
That's impressive that they were able to do that so quickly.
up the map.
And also, they were able to pull that stuff pretty quick as well, just guys, because what they probably did was they went to Army CID and was able to pull his entire military file right away.
There for you. And we know that he
And Army CID is Army Criminal Investigation Division. They have access to all that stuff. So anytime you want to look at people dishonorable discharges, their military background, who they served with, when they were deployed, who their chain of command was, etc., that's always going to be information that the military special agent agencies are going to have, whether it's Army CID, OSI, Office of Special Investigation, the U.S. Coast Guard Office of Special Investigation. All these military agencies have their own, what's it called? NCIS, Naval Criminal Investigation Division or Service. They have their own 1811s that do investigations. 1811 is Special Agent Criminal Investigator.
Cybertruck in Denver on December 28th. We tracked his movements through the Tesla charging stations to Monument, Colorado on December 30th. On the 31st of December, the truck was charged in Trinidad, Colorado, Las Vegas, New Mexico, and Albuquerque and Gallup, New Mexico. On January 1st, the truck was charged in Holbrook, Flagstaff, and Kingman, Arizona. We last tracked the truck in Kingman at 05:33 yesterday morning. The truck was first spotted in Las Vegas at 7:29 a.m.
Yeah, a big part of that is because Tesla's obviously record all the information, so that's how they're able to quickly get this back. And probably just download it off the computer on the actual device. And I know that Elon had sent some of his people there to actually help law enforcement with figuring things out and helping them expedite the process.
Yesterday. And Carlos will pull up a picture of the truck pulling onto Fashion Show Drive here. And that picture was observed at about 7:34
Yep, that's right there on the strip.
a.m.
Fucking dead. Nobody was on there. Nobody was on the strip. It's cold right now in Vegas, guys. As you guys know, I was literally in Vegas, a week, 2 weeks ago with Angie. It's cold as hell right now, chat. Shout out to Nun B. He says, you got 14K viewers on X right now. I think I don't know if that's live viewers, chat. I think that's people that have clicked on it. But I mean, you do the math, probably a couple 100,000. Who knows? I don't know. But I know we got, right now I'm looking about 8,000 new ninjas in here right now on all the platforms. So guys, do me a favor. Like the video if you're watching this thing on YouTube, okay? We're live on both Myron Gaines X and for Fresh and Fit, guys. So like the video. Let's get this thing pushed up in the algorithm a bit. Like I said before, I am going to be migrating, guys, to Myron Gaines X. That is going to be where I do all my commentary from now on, guys. Okay? So we're slowly but surely, we're going to start migrating that stuff over to Myron Gaines X. It's going to be my main channel where I do stuff. So all my links below are below. Like all my social media platforms, they're below, guys. So go ahead and make sure to follow them on Fresh and Fit. I think here on the description, if you look, yeah. X, Instagram, all that stuff is there. Follow me there on all those platforms so you guys stay in tune, because I post different types of content on different stuff. Obviously on X, I'm way more political. On Instagram, we're posting reels, funny shit. Rumble, obviously, I stream. And then YouTube, obviously, I stream. So, and, you know, we do the reaction videos and the commentary and all that other stuff and the true crime stuff like we're doing now.
We know that he pulled into the Trump valet, and I believe we have a video of that. You can see the Cybertruck highlighted there.
Interesting. And guys, the guys of you that are listening in on the Twitter space, if you guys want to see the stream, I'm live on X right now. You guys can actually watch this with me live. And then, like I said before, I'll bring some of you guys up to speak if you guys got opinions and takes. But yeah, make sure to watch the stream live on Rumble or on YouTube because we're live right now, so you guys can actually see what we're looking at.
So through extensive surveillance video, we were able to track him leaving there, and we know that he went to several different places along Las Vegas Boulevard, and he spent some time in a parking lot of a business near Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. We then have a video of the truck pulling back onto Las Vegas Boulevard from the Sands. See that there? That's north on the boulevard from Sands at 8:39, where he then immediately heads to the Trump Hotel, pulls into the valet area, and as of course you all know, the explosion occurs within 17 seconds of his arrival.
Boom, that's crazy.
There's some additional investigative updates that are going to be provided to you by a couple of the other speakers here, the first of which will be our special agent in charge of the FBI local office, Spencer Evans. Spencer?
It's funny because this is the FBI field office actually that arrested bum-ass unlocked that Instagram hacker. FBI, it was FBI Vegas that went ahead and arrested him as well. So, funny shit.
Good morning, my name is Spencer.
Now, the special agent in charge, let me go ahead and give you guys a hierarchy, right? Give you guys a little bit of education on how this works, okay? So, because I know we have a lot of viewers here that might not be familiar with this stuff. So the special agent in charge, guys, is the top guy, right? He is the one that runs the office. He is the person that does a lot of the media appearances. He's the one that's talking directly with DC a lot of the times. He's overseeing the entire field office, which a lot of the times will be, if it's a special agent in charge, they're going to have 100 agents plus easily that he oversees. So underneath the special agent in charge, right, also, special agents in charge don't carry cases. They're basically managers. Think of them as like the CEO of that field office, right? Then under him is going to be, for the FBI at least, other agencies have different positions, but for the FBI specifically, they have assistant special agent in charges, right? And assistant special agent in charge is someone that is overseeing like groups, okay? So, and typically there's going to be multiple assistant special agents in charge, like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them, depending on how big the field office is, right? Those assistant special agent in charges oversee what's called SSAs, supervisory special agents, right? So let's say you have an assistant special agent in charge. Under him is 3 supervisory special agents. Those supervisory special agents oversee squads, okay? So let's go back and build this up from the beginning, right? So you got a regular FBI special agent. They carry cases. They're doing debriefs. They carry informants. They, obviously are out there doing interviews. They're actually the ones doing the investigations. They're testifying in court, etc. That's a regular FBI special agent, GS-13 up to, right? Then above him is called a supervisory special agent, right? He oversees the guys in his squad, right? Most squads are somewhere between 5 to 10 special agents to include task force officers, okay? Then above the SSA is the assistant special agent in charge, right? And that assistant special agent in charge manages multiple squads. So the SSA controls one squad. The assistant special agent in charge manages multiple SSAs that each manage their own squad. So assistant special agent in charge will end up having something like maybe 3 to 5 squads under them that they're responsible for, right? So I'll give you an example. You got, let's say, public corruption squad, right? Then you got a white collar crime squad. Then you got a violent crimes squad. Then you got a fucking bank robbery squad, right? That's four different squads, right? 4 different supervisors. Those 4 supervisors answer to one assistant special agent in charge. Then that assistant special agent in charge answers to the special agent in charge, the SAC, who is right now giving this press conference. Give me ones in the chat if that all makes sense for you guys. Give me ones in the chat. So now you guys understand the hierarchy of how these FBI field offices are. Give me ones in the chat if that makes sense. And then if you're on the Twitter space, just give me 100s. I'm looking at the Twitter space as well. I know that's a little confusing, but that's the hierarchy and how it goes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And if you're confused, just say 3 and then why you're confused. If it doesn't make sense. Awesome, awesome. Sweet. Sweet. All right. Most of you guys get it. All right. We'll keep going.
Spencer Evans, I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas division. As the sheriff mentioned, we've been working through the night with our partners.
So anytime they got a SAC like that, a special agent in charge, that means there's at least in the field office, like probably 100 guys is what I'm assuming. If they got a SAC, that means they got like 100 guys. Really big field offices like New York, where they got hundreds, they got multiple SACs. Pause.
Partners, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and other agencies to gather all the facts and determine a motive to what was initially reported to the FBI as a bombing incident, to which our special agent bomb techs and others responded. Obviously, we're always concerned in these sorts of events to ascertain what the motive is. We understand that's everybody's at the forefront of everyone's thoughts. And so looking into exactly what the motivation is remains our #1 priority. This is why the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has been brought into play.
Told you guys. I didn't watch this press conference before, guys. I knew JTTF was going to take this thing. And we'll talk about the JTTF here in a second. Because they're completely different than regular, they're different than a regular FBI squad.
The Joint Terrorism Task Force, most important part of that acronym is joint. It is done in...
Oh, yeah, look at this, the politically correct. The joint, we work together, even though the FBI is one of the worst agencies to work with, and I'll talk about that in a second, too.
Concert with our partners, which are comprised of more than a dozen investigative agencies here throughout the state of Nevada. We've been working hand in glove, side by side, tirelessly to determine is there any ongoing threat to the public, to identify the subject, to determine any potential connection to other events going on in the world, most notably in New Orleans, and then obviously to determine if there's anything else that we need to be tracking down. At this time, as the sheriff's pointed out, we feel that the subject has been identified, although not conclusively, waiting for DNA evidence on that front. However, we do feel like we have the subject identified, and at this time there is no information about additional subjects that the FBI is tracking on. Our resources, as I mentioned, that have been deployed in support of this event include Special Agent Bomb Techs, our evidence response team, which is processing crime scenes, side by side with the forensics folks from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, our investigators, our intelligence analysts, and then outside of the FBI Las Vegas field office.
So intelligence analysts don't carry guns. They're 0132s. Okay, let me see if I got this right. If I got this right, I am. Gee, hold on. 0132. Damn, I'm good. Let's go. All right. Yeah, so intelligence series. So analysts, guys, are 0132s. They don't carry guns. Versus 1811, right? That is a criminal investigator, aka special agent. So depending on which agency, they all have different positions. But, typically the title is going to be special agent. So 0132 is analyst. Special agent is 1811. Also, by the way, if you guys want to get a job with the government, pro tip, go usajobs.gov, right? Click. You want a job series, just like, let's say you want to be a special agent, you want to look at the positions open, type in 1811, boom, enter, and then bam, all of them come up in the country for you guys. This is how you can go ahead and get a job with, the different agencies. Because every agency, guys, has 1811s, aka criminal investigators, also known as special agents, right? So, and then 0132, you type in 0132, and then these are all the intel analyst positions, right? And you can apply to all of them here. So, and I've done episodes on how to get into law enforcement, guys. If you ever want to get into government work or whatever, so we've done episodes on that.
We have investigative leads that are being conducted by FBI field offices, both internationally and domestically as well. As always, when the FBI is involved with any sort of
No, you can't get a job if you're a felon or an illegal alien, chat. You will not get a government job if you got a felony conviction, bro, or a dishonorable discharge. Or another thing too, which is why I was telling this guy before, don't ever touch your wife or your girlfriend. If you guys get convicted of a crime of domestic violence, guess what happens? Thanks to the Lautenberg Act, you won't be able to get a gun and you can't serve in law enforcement. So don't fucking do it, guys. It ain't worth your life. It ain't worth going to jail. Even if you get convicted of a misdemeanor crime of domestic violence, you will lose your ability to buy a gun. Also, if you have a restraining order against you, that makes you a prohibited person. Can't get a gun, guys. So protect your Second Amendment. Don't be an idiot, chat.
Case like this, we ask for help for the public. Anyone with information related to this incident, we encourage you to please call 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. We've already received thousands of tips related to this incident. The challenge that we face moving forward is to separate those that are pertinent and relevant and those that can be verified for those from those that have not. For example, one of the tips that we received just today relates to information alluding to this subject's personal experiences related to his time and activity in the military. Again, that's unverified and uncorroborated, but one of many tips and leads that we will be following up in the days that come.
All right.